Hi, my name is Natalie, and I've been teaching and practicing Tantric meditations and just the world of inner work and emotional healing and Tantric work. And I've been doing it with myself and with other people. And on this YouTube channel, I talk about the different practices we can do, the different philosophies sometimes behind the work, why we should do the work, and what's the best way to do it. I usually talk to people who want to practice not ejaculating or semen retention, working with the sexual energy in a different way, or people who already practice it. I don't really try to convince people to do it because it's not my place, and I'm not a man. I'm a woman, so for me and for women, the tantric work is a little bit different. But I do talk about it because I know that there are men who are interested in this work, who are already doing the work. And for those men, I feel like I can give valuable tips and exercises that can help them with their practice. Today, I wanted to talk about breath work. I realize more and more that if you don't do any work with your breath while doing these practices, it's not worth a lot. And it can cause more damage than it can do good. The breath in general is the air energy, sword energy in tarot. But the air, it kind of helps the energy go up and down the spine through the 7 chakras. And it also helps relax the body. It helps to relax our mind, and it's very healthy to do deep breaths. For some people, it just sounds like something, oh yeah, I breathe when I do it. And they don't understand the true power of the breath. And if you asked me for one practice that I thought could change the world, if every single person in the world did it, it would be breath work. There is such a big difference in your physical health, emotional health, and mental health when you start being more aware of your breath, when you start to be in control of your breath, when you start to work with your breath, and when you start to deepen your breath. So for most people, this is how they breathe. And you can try it. Just take a deep, or not even a deep, just take a breath in and out. I see, that's how people breathe. That kind of breathing can actually cause stress on the body. And if you're doing those kind of breaths when you're working with your sexual energy, you could be doing the opposite of what you wanted to do. So we want to start paying a lot more attention to our breath. I'm going to talk about 3 different breathing techniques today that you can start practicing at home. And I would love it if you would let me know in the comments how it went, how it felt, if it was easy, if it was difficult, if you didn't understand anything, and then I can make more videos in the future where I'm answering your questions about these exercises. And in general, if you have any kind of questions about the exercises that I talk about, please put them in the comments. I do try and answer a lot of the questions that I get there. So 3 breathing techniques that I do on a daily basis that have changed my life and I think will change your entire practice if you start doing them. The first breath, and this is something that I've actually heard someone describe in a very specific way that helped me understand it, so I'm going to kind of pass that on to you. The first type of breath, and this might be the most difficult one, I'm not sure, you tell me in the comments, but it comes from yoga, and it's called Ujjayi breaths. So you can look it up on Google, see if there are any other people on YouTube teaching this kind of breath. I'm going to first of all demonstrate it to you, then I'm going to tell you how you can do it at home. So if you listen very carefully, I'm going to do it in from my nose, out from my mouth, and I want you to pay attention to how it sounds. So in, if I keep my mouth open, it will sound like this. So you'll probably notice that it's very long. That's because I've been practicing it for years. And you can get to that length, and it does make a difference. I can also tell you that when I'm sick or when I have any kind of pain in my body, if I do these very deep breaths the way that I just demonstrated, it actually helps relieve pain, and it helps me heal quicker. So how do we do this breath? Ujjayi breath. The trick is, and you should do this if you want, together with me, first of all, we'll take a breath in from our mouth. And we want to open the throat, this area of the throat, because sometimes that gets stuck for a lot of people. So we want to take like big, nice breaths in from our mouth. And we want to feel the air scratching the back of our neck, the back of the breathing tube. Okay, so we have that. Then we want to do the same thing with our mouth closed, breathing from our nose, but it's going to be the same. So we want to keep our throat open and then mouth closed, breathe in from your nose. But I'm still breathing in from my mouth, kind of. The air isn't coming in from my mouth, but my throat is breathing as if I'm breathing from my mouth, but the air is coming in from my nose. This might be confusing. You'll have to try it a few times at home. It took me quite a while to understand this kind of breath work, but it's a matter of practice, and just do it every day and practice it until you get it. And when you get it, you'll know you got it. So I'm breathing in from my nose as if I'm breathing in from my mouth. And I'm doing the same thing out. So you can actually keep on breathing from your mouth, just keep your mouth closed, and then the air is going to have to come in and out from your mouth. And once you get the hang of it, you can start doing it a lot slower, and the slower you do it, the more air you are going to breathe in and out. And even just demonstrating 2 of these breaths, I felt a lot more relaxed. So this is something that you should start trying to do at home, and it is my basic go-to way of breathing. And nowadays, after doing it and practicing it for 10 years, this is just how I breathe all the time. But in the beginning, we have to practice it, we have to learn it, we have to practice it, and it might take a while to feel comfortable with that kind of breathing, but for me, it's just like the way I breathe today. The second type of breath work I'm going to talk about is, you can either call it in yoga Kapalabhati, or you can call it, this is my way, this is how I learned about the breath work, is fire breath, and it's from the stomach. So we're going to do in from our nose, and then as we breathe in from our nose, we're going to inflate the stomach, and then out from the mouth, it's going to be short, quick, and we're going to bring the stomach in. So this is how it looks like. So in, my belly goes out, my belly goes in, and the belly helps push it. And you don't want to do it too strong because it might hurt your throat, and it's not from the throat, okay? This breath work is from the stomach. So this is where the air is coming in and out, and the stomach is pushing the air out very quickly, and the throat isn't doing anything. So if you feel like this is the strain on your throat, it's because you're breathing from here and not from your stomach. So in the beginning, you can start from the throat. That might be, it makes your throat dry and it's not that comfortable. So we want to do it from the stomach, because the stomach is the solar plexus, is the fire. This is the area of the body that's going to help bring the sexual energy up instead of down and out. Because if we have a strong solar plexus and we do this breath work, even with the sexual energy, it's going to shoot the sexual energy up with the fire of the sun, of the solar plexus. So again, it's in. Let's do like 10 of these together. You can keep your hand on your stomach if it helps you feel it move. So we're going to do 10 of these breaths. And then at the end, we're going to take half a breath in and then hold our breath. You should be able to hold your breath for quite a while after doing those fire breaths. So that would be the practice. 10, 20, or 30 of those, then hold your breath. When we let our breath go, Then we take another one in and hold. And I'm demonstrating, so I'm going to let it go, but I can stay there for sometimes even 2 to 3 minutes, and you should be able to do that too. So we would do a few sets of 10 or 20 or 30. You decide. I do 100, so it's a matter of practice. But let's say 10 of these breaths, then you hold your breath in, let go, hold it in, do another cycle, and just do a few of those a day. Where once you get familiar and you feel comfortable doing them, you can do it at the beginning of your sexual energy practice, and you can pause in the middle of your sexual energy practice and do that and see what it does to your body, see what it does to the energy, and then once you're done, you can do another set. So we want to kind of implement these breathwork techniques into the sexual energy practice. The Ujjayi, the first one, just all the time, and then the fire breaths would be the beginning, middle, and end, and just see how that affects your sexual energy. The last type of breathwork, because this video is getting longer than I thought, the last type of breathwork that we're going to do today is breathing to our butthole. I've made videos about this. The anus is the first chakra. This is so important when working with our sexual energy, but just in general, our first chakra, our root chakra, holds a lot of tension. Most of our tension is held in the root chakra. And one of the things that happens to our body because of all that tension that's stored there is that our anus is clenched and we don't notice it, and it's sucking all the energy in the first chakra, and it's making us feel bad. So we want to do a few breaths to the anus, and the breaths are basically in from our nose, where we kind of let go of the anus and even push it out a little bit as if we are inflating it with air, the butthole. And then when we breathe out from our mouth, we're going to clench that area and push the air and the energy down. And then in, and then out. When we clench, it's also the penis or the vagina or the genitals, and it's the perineum, and it's the anus. The whole area is kind of clenching with our breath out. We push, clench. Then you breathe in, you let go. And you kind of, inflate the body like a balloon, but the opening of the balloon is the anus. So all the air is coming in from there. So it's kind of opening up, and all the air is filling up our body. And then when we're breathing out, all the air is leaving our body, and we're clenching it all the way back to the opening of the balloon, and the balloon is like shut. So we can do that again as a practice a few times a day, like a set of 10 of those breaths, morning, afternoon, evening. It's kind of like getting into shape. So I'm giving you tips, I'm giving you advice on how you could do it, but you need to find out for yourself what the best way for you is. Then we can also implement it into the work we do with our sexual energy. If we reach that 70% of no return, that would be a good time to kind of do these breaths and maybe bring the energy up to the crown chakra instead of letting it go out. Also, if we are at that point of kind of bringing up the sexual energy and raising our sexual energy, we can do those breaths because it can help arouse the area as well. And when we do the shavasana afterwards, we can also do a few of those because that will also help the energy disperse and spread in our entire body instead of just in this area of the body. So those are the 3 techniques I wanted to talk about today. I recommend you practice all 3 of them as many times as you can. I am someone who, when I find out something new that helps me, I get obsessed. So I am obsessed with this breath work. I've been doing it again for 10 years on a daily basis. So it's not enough just to do it with me in the video, but it's a start. And then you can rewatch the video and you can do it with me again, or you can just do it by yourself, write down the points that are important and just do it every single day. And that is my recommendation. So just doing it separately, just to feel comfortable, to get to know your breath and to kind of stretch the capability of your breath, because again, we start with very shallow breaths, but that's not very healthy. We want to have big, long, deep breaths. And we want to start bringing in the breath work to the masturbation sessions, whether it's with ejaculating or without, to the work we do with our sexual energy and meditation with ourselves or with a partner. So we want to start bringing in these breathwork techniques into those places as well, and slowly and gradually find out what kind of difference it makes, how it makes you feel, and then keep on doing the ones that make you feel good. I will soon upload a guided meditation video where I'll actually do breath work with you and a bit of work with the energy. So if that interests you, let me know. I am going to make that soon. and it's going to be interesting, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being so amazing, and thank you for all the comments, and thank you for doing the work and loving yourself and caring about yourself enough to actually do these weird things that I tell you to do. I'm having so much fun with this YouTube channel, and I will keep going as long as it is fun for me and for you. So thank you again, and I will see you in my next video.